What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to What's in the Box. Today I got a package and I'm really excited to open this one because it's gonna add to my cool collection. I'm really excited to open this one. I can't wait to get in there, so I'm not even gonna bother, I'm just gonna get straight into it. A package inside a package. I'm going to take a mid-opening swig of coffee. It's good coffee because I've got to do it at the start. Ladies and gentlemen, Maniac Mansion on the NES. That is super cool and quite small. I did not think that NES boxes were as small as that. As tall as my hand. But yes, this is the PAL version of Maniac Mansion for the NES. It is a Lucasfilm game. Or LucasArts, they were also known as, but Lucasfilm at the time when they released it, by the wonderful Ron Gilbert, and it's the first proper outing of the Scum engine. For those of you who have never heard of it, that is the engine that ran pretty much all of the point and clicks from LucasArts up until Grim Fandango. But I'm going to get it out of this plastic bag so that we can have a proper look at it. But so you can see, that's why I thought it was kind of badly packed, because these boxes are very fragile. They look at, like, if you look at these boxes, because they're quite thin, and the cardboard it's just like thin cardboard. It's not heavy. It definitely isn't something that could stand up to a bit of weight. Now the good thing about it is that there is a cartridge, and the cartridges are about that thick, so the cartridge actually would stop it from compressing, to be fair. But the corners and stuff, to have it in a kind of crappy bubble wrap is not a good idea in my opinion. So here's the cover anyway, with all the characters. You've got Bernard there in the middle, or Bernard, whichever you want to call him. Dave to his left, I think that's Sid, and that's some surfer dude. And then that's Roxy, I think is her name. She's a bass player in a band. It's just so odd that a LucasArts point and click game made it onto the NES. For me anyway, coming from a background of playing these point and click games almost exclusively on PC, so it's very odd that it made it there, but it's quite cool. And the reason I got this is because the actual big box PC version of Maniac Mansion goes for astronomical money, like stupid money. We're going to take a quick look at the back here. Jalico. Why is there a chainsaw in the kitchen? Well, it doesn't have any fuel, so you can't use the chainsaw. Notorious for being quite a hard game actually. There's a few points anyway within the game that you can mess up. You can not pick up the right items, or you can use items. They'll allow you to use items without you knowing whether they're the right items to use at that particular point. It is a completely different game to the PC version. It looks different, it looks very NES, and it strikes me as so unusual that you have to play a point and click game on a controller, and particularly the old controllers where you have the mouse. You're not moving the character directly, you're moving the mouse pointer across the screen with the directional pad of the NES controller. To me that's very odd. There's the front door where you first go in to the mansion. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this actually had a sequel as well called Day of the Tentacle, and it's a fantastic game. It's currently out I think on loads of platforms. I'm going to get another big box so that we can compare the size of the NES game to an original big box. My usual big box of choice for comparing other big boxes, or boxes too, is usually Monkey Island 2, but I'm going to change it up today. Today we're going to compare it to Sam & Max Hit the Road, another great LucasArts adventure. So yeah, as you can see, the actual box itself, in comparison to a proper PC big box, is actually quite small. You're losing quite a lot of space, but it's literally just to fit the NES cartridge. Now this is my first NES cartridge. I did have a SNES cartridge at one time because I'm not a huge Nintendo fan and I don't really collect Nintendo games, and I don't really have many Nintendo consoles. I do own an N64, and that's my kind of favorite Nintendo console because it's so odd. But I don't have any of the retro stuff because I grew up playing PC and I grew up playing PlayStation. But I didn't own a Nintendo of any sort, so really the only reason I bought this is because the PC version is too expensive at the moment. It's way too expensive to try to get into my PC collection. So I just really did want a Maniac Mansion in my collection of some sort, and I just saw this going for quite cheap and I said, you know what, why not? Anyway, so as you can see, that's the difference between a normal big box. Right, so I suppose we'll get this open. Now, I don't want to crease the box because it is in such good condition, considering how old it is as well. So this was released in 1990 over in the PAL region, because yes, this is a PAL region as well, and we'll get into the differences between the PAL region and the North American region soon enough. Oh, those tops are nice and easy to open without creasing them, unlike PC big boxes of later years. Right, so we're going to slide out the contents. Oh, there's even a cartridge saving yolk in there. And oh, he's put a piece of styrofoam as well, I suppose, to fill up the box in case anything does happen. I might leave that in there. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. So the box doesn't get crushed, which is quite good. Okay, so what do we have here? We have, I've never owned one of these, so this is kind of cool to add to my collection. This is the Maniac Mansion cartridge. As you can see here, it's got the same cover as above and these big massive cartridges. Geez, that gold sticker, it's like the game was never played. That gold sticker looks brand new. Now, it's slightly coming off here at the top. I might get a bit of glue at some stage just to glue that down. Anyway, so that's the cartridge. I'm going to put it back here in its little container. Plastic cover just to keep the cartridge safe. That's probably why it was kept safe. Somebody just put it in there and left it in there for all those years. So we have free membership to Club Nintendo. I definitely would have wanted to be part of that. Not at all. I'm not a huge fan of Mario. I think Mario is a bit overrated, personally. I'm gonna get a load of hate for that. Anyway, Maniac Mansion instruction manual. So we're gonna have a quick look through it. I wonder, is it colour? No, it's definitely black and white. Yeah, it's just, it is so odd to me when you find games like this that like are PC based and they end up on a console. It strikes me as so odd. Sandy's boyfriend Dave. Yeah, you have to save Sandy from Dr. Fred's mansion. You can pick a team of 3 kids then to come along from school and help you save Sandy from Dr. Fred, who I think is like trying to do experiments on her or something like that. That's so interesting. The screenshots here are actual pictures of a CRT TV. Somebody took them back in the day to put in the manual. They are actual pictures of the CRT with the characters. Bernard can fix things with the proper tools. Razor has plenty of musical talent. Sid, yes, I was correct. Sid is a musician too. Wendy is an aspiring to be novelist. Jeff can fix the telephone. And Michael is a developer, is a photographer and can develop film. I think the surfer dude is Jeff. So he actually can do something. He can fix the telephone. That's it. And Dave is kind of useless. He's really there to get caught because one of the 3 kids can get caught and put in a cell underneath the mansion. Right, so that's quite cool to have. The manual is not in the best condition considering how old it is. That's fair enough though. So what I was talking about was, because this is the PAL version, it's actually missing something that came with the US version. And so I was thinking for a while, I was looking through copies of this online on eBay and I was going, I really want that extra thing. I was looking at them and they were all way more expensive, the ones with the extra little thing that comes with it. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna actually make my own of it. So I went away and I found images of this thing online and I actually printed out the extra thing on an A4 sheet of paper. So I'm gonna get that now so that we can have a look. So here it is. And I have to say, I am quite impressed with my own craftsmanship on this particular item. I even have glossy paper, which it originally came on, and I folded it the same way that it was online. So what this is just a little extra kind of poster. It would have been way bigger, like A3 sized or A2 sized or something like that in the original box. Probably A3 considering how small the box is. But basically it's just a little poster and it has a bulletin board from high school. And it's got loads of things on it, like remember cheerleading practice tonight at 6 PM. Sandy cancelled because Sandy's obviously missing, you know. Dave is a tune ahead. That's a famous line. It was originally going to be, I think, Dave is don't be an asshole or don't be a dickhead. I think originally is what it was going to be. And the guys in Lucasfilm, Ron Gilbert came up with the line, and Ron was going to the guy, going to the higher ups and saying like, yeah, okay, the line is going to be, don't be a dickhead or don't be an asshole. And the guys up the top of Lucasfilm were like, okay, look, that's okay, but if you can give us a reason why it has to be asshole or dickhead, then you can leave it in the game. But you need to come up with a good reason as to why it needs to be in the game. why there needs to be bad language in the game, essentially, because they did want to be kid friendly as well. But Lucasfilm were good enough that they let their artists kind of do what they want, but Ron Gilbert had to go away and think of a good idea for leaving it as asshole or dickhead at the very start of the game, and he couldn't for the life of him think of a good reason, so they changed the line to tuna head instead of dickhead. So Dave is a tuna head. Dave actually says it, so Dave isn't a tuna head. Dave actually says to Bernard, particularly because Bernard gets scared and wants to run away, he says, "Don't be a tuna head." So that's kind of a famous line from it. But yeah, so it's got just loads of little bulletin board stuff on it. There's Razor, yeah, and she was doing a gig tonight, except the gig is obviously going to be cancelled as well. And then here's the setup for the story. It's quite simple, and that's what I like about the LucasArts games as well. I need your help. Sandy's being captured by Dr. Fred. Meet me at the driveway to Maniac Mansion. We've got to save her. Dave. So yeah, it's just a small little extra thing that came with the US version that isn't in the PAL version of it. So I really did want it. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to print one out and print it on nice glossy paper as well, so that it looks cool. And it will fit into the box because it's an A4 piece of paper instead of, you know, a larger A2 or A3 or whatever it was that was originally in the box. But there you go. So it's now part of my collection. So yeah, I'm super happy about Maniac Mansion. It looks great. It's in really, really good nick. So I'm going to start putting this stuff back in carefully. Oh, and he cut it to the size as well. That was a really good idea. I wondered, did they originally come with a piece of styrofoam, or did he put the styrofoam in? So we might give this a go on a living room session some evening for the crack of it. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Make sure you have a coffee with you at all times. And I'll see you the next time. My name is Jack. Goodbye.
Videos for no one watches now. Hit the snake. Looking at lovely things we have.